Hi, grade 10 students. Our section today is about defense against infection. Please open your books on page 1014, section 35.2. The objective is to identify the nonspecific defenses against pathogens. Nonspecific immune response, or we call it in other words, innate immune response, that means it's natural and with which we are born, is a combination between physical and chemical barriers. These barriers are called nonspecific defenses because they act against a wide variety of pathogens and respond using the same mechanism. Nonspecific defenses include the skin, tears, and other secretions like the mucus and the stomach acid, the inflammatory response, interferons, and fever. And we will be explaining and discussing all that. The skin is the first line of defense in the nonspecific immune response. It is considered as a physical barrier or wall that prevents pathogens from penetrating the body due to layers of dead cells that form the skin's surface. As you know that the skin doesn't cover the whole body, pathogens can easily enter the nose, the mouth, or the eyes. Saliva, mucous membranes in the mouth, and tears trap pathogens. They contain lysosomes that kill bacteria. The skin, tears, and mucous membranes are the first line of defense in the nonspecific immune system. The second line is activated when a pathogen enters the body through a cut in the skin, for example. Then the body's second line of defense comes into action. The mechanism of response includes inflammatory response, interferons, and fever. Have you ever had a small cut with a knife while chopping vegetables, or a scratch on your leg due to falling down? Inflammation or inflammatory response is activated. It is when the infected area becomes red and painful or inflamed. The pathogen that has entered the skin stimulates mast cells to release chemicals known as histamines. You can see in the following figure how a cut in the skin that carries pathogen in will attract mast cells that are green in color and leads to release of histamine, which increases blood flow to the affected area. Histamines increase the blood flow and fluids to the affected area, which leads to swelling. White blood cells such as phagocytes also move to the area. Phagocytes engulf and destroy the bacteria. All this activity around the wound may cause local rise in temperature. That's why a wound area sometimes feels warm. We have discussed what happens with inflammation. Now we're going to discuss interferons. They are proteins released by the body against pathogens that prevent the synthesis of viral proteins. That is, they interfere with viral growth. By slowing down the production of new viruses, interferons buy time for the specific immune response to respond and fight the infection. The last point in the second line of defense in the nonspecific immune response is fever. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I have fever when I'm sick? The answer is that the immunity system releases chemicals that increases body temperature, producing fever. Increased body temperature slow down or stop the growth of some pathogens. End of part 1 in section 35.2. Thank you for your attention.